Hey, it's Thursday, September the 25th, 2025. My name is Thom, and this is your AmCon Daily Brief. On today's show, fire is warmth, food, and morale, but only if you can start it.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for September the 25th, 2025. Up first today, we examine a shift in civil defense strategies, highlighting the growing importance of citizen resilience in the face of 21st century narrative warfare. NATO's Innovation Hub has flagged the emergence of cognitive warfare, which aims to undermine trust, a cornerstone of democratic societies. Modern civil defense must extend beyond physical protection to counter disinformation and strengthen social cohesion through grassroots peace-building efforts. In health news, the FDA reminds the public about guidelines on at-home, over-the-counter COVID-19 tests. These tests, authorized for self-use, are critical tools in managing the pandemic. Users are encouraged to report results voluntarily and understand the importance of repeat testing to minimize false negatives. Proper interpretation and usage of these tests are essential to prevent further spread of the virus. Switching to security concerns, the U.S. Secret Service has uncovered a massive hidden telecom network near the United Nations building in New York City. This network, comprising thousands of servers and over 100,000 SIM cards, had the capability to send millions of anonymous texts nationwide within minutes. Some SIM cards are linked to criminal and terrorist entities. Authorities continue to investigate and advise the public to be cautious of suspicious calls or texts. Tragedy struck in Colorado, where two young, experienced hunters were killed by lightning. Their deaths highlight the perils of severe weather conditions in outdoor activities. Experts stress the importance of checking weather forecasts and avoiding elevated areas during storms, emphasizing preparedness and situational awareness to prevent such fatalities. Lastly, be aware of ongoing protests and potential civil unrest around the country. While many demonstrations are peaceful, it is vital to remain alert, know your surroundings, and be aware of all exits when attending public events. Report any suspicious activity to local authorities and, when safe, to the American Contingency Team via regional communication channels. Now for today's weather summary. There is a slight risk of excessive rainfall along parts of the western and central Gulf Coast this Wednesday and in the southwest Thursday through Friday. In Arizona and New Mexico, heavy monsoon thunderstorms may cause isolated flash and urban flooding from Thursday into Sunday. The presence of Tropical Storm Humberto and an approaching tropical wave adds uncertainty to long-range forecasts. Texans, Gulf Coast residents, and those in the Southwest should closely monitor weather updates and prepare for potential flooding. Looking ahead, several American contingency events are scheduled in the coming weeks. The Southeast Region Adventure Challenge will take place October 3rd through 5th at Trace State Park near Tupelo, Mississippi. The Northeast Region Adventure Challenge is set for October 10th to 12th in Hookstown, Pennsylvania. Water bath canning workshops focusing on food preservation skills will occur October 18th and 22nd in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. The South Region Adventure Challenge will be held November 7th to 9th at the Boy Scout Camp in Milburn, Oklahoma. Members can access the American Contingency Members-Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
For most of human history, fire wasn't optional. It was survival. It cooked food, purified water, and kept predators away. And brought people together. Today, most of us flip a switch or strike a match without thinking twice. But in the outdoors or during a disruption, fire becomes more than convenience. It becomes capability. Preparedness isn't about hoping you'll never need to start a fire without help. It's about knowing you can if you have to. Fire is one of the oldest survival tools, and it's still one of the most important. When you can build a fire, you gain more than heat. You gain confidence. The basics start with three things: tinder, kindling, and fuel. Tinder is the fine, dry material that catches spark. Cotton balls, dry grass, shaved wood, or even drier lint. Kindling is slightly larger, twigs and sticks that catch quickly from the tinder. Fuel is your larger wood that keeps the fire burning. Skip one of these three, and frustration sets in fast. Next is ignition. Matches and lighters are great, but what happens if they're wet or empty or lost? That's where skills like using a ferro rod, flint and steel, or even friction fire comes in. You may never need to rub sticks together for real, but practicing once or twice builds a deep sense of self-reliance. And then there's safety. Fire is a tool, but it's also a responsibility. Clear the ground, control your space, and always have water or soil nearby to extinguish. Nothing undermines preparedness faster than a preventable fire getting out of hand. And here's a bigger point. Fire isn't just about survival. It's about morale. Sit by a campfire and you'll notice the difference. Warmth, light, the ability to cook food, these things restore the body and spirit alike. In a crisis, that morale boost can be as important as the calories you cook or the water you boil. Preparedness isn't only about equipment. It's about knowing you have the skills to meet basic needs when modern systems fail. Fire reminds us that even without power, without gas, yes, even without comfort, we can still create light, warmth, and peace. So here's your challenge. Practice fire starting this week. Gather some tinder, some kindling, and fuel, and then light a fire without using a lighter. Try a match, a ferro rod, or even friction if you're feeling particularly ambitious. The goal isn't speed, it's building confidence in the process. Tomorrow we'll wrap up the work week with 5 simple outdoor skills you can practice this weekend. Skills that build confidence without needing a crisis. Well, that's it for today's AmCon Daily Brief. Thanks for listening. Members, check out today's resources on the members-only website or on your phone app. If you're not a member yet, head over to AmericanContingency.com and start building real resilience today. If you found this helpful, share this podcast with someone you care about. I'm Thom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.